Hi, this is Greg from Panhandle 3D Printing. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a look at some designs from a couple of designers that have been on the channel before. Andrew Askadal from Warlayer and Steven from Corvus Games Terrain. A few of these are some recent releases, and one of them is from a Kickstarter that just ended. We'll look right in the middle here because we'll talk about Andrew's first, and that's this Sci-Fi train that you see in front of me. This thing... oh man, if you have not printed this or were not part of the Kickstarter, this piece is absolutely fantastic. You've got the train, the armored car, you've got a flat cart right here that you can put some of his Warlayer crates on or anything else that you want on there, and an orbital gun platform. I'm going to zoom in on all this stuff a little closer so you can get a better look on a Lazy Susan and spin it around, and that way, you know, we can zoom down in. Steven has been killing it with Star Wars Legion terrain and general sci-fi terrain. So he just released the Pilgrim Ruins set, and that's what's right up here up front. And if you haven't seen this yet, again, we'll zoom down in on this, and there'll be pictures flashing up too as normal on there. But this is a really nice piece of scatter set, a really nice scatter set that you can put on your game table. It looks really good. It fits in line with the rest of the Pilgrim terrain that he's put out. He also has put out the new Pilgrim landing pad, and this is a nice three-piece print. Print super easy. Nothing on this table needed supports to print, so it's all support free. And the last piece over here is this greenskin orc tower, again from Corvus Games Terrain. That is really nice, and this is one of those things that you see it, you know, you see the render of it on there, but once you get it printed out in front of you, you get to see the size of this thing, and it's actually really nice. So this will look good in your 40K game. It would also look good in the new Speed Freaks, I think is what GW released. But let me take and put the Lazy Susan on here, and we'll zoom down in and we'll get a better look at some of these pieces. All right, the first piece we're going to look at is the Sci-Fi train, and this is from Andrew from Warlayer, and this was part of the Zone 1 Kickstarter. There's still a late pledge option on this. There'll be a link down in the show notes. So if you see something here on the table, there'll be linked to both designers to their website so that you can purchase the STL files for this. And so right here is the Sci-Fi train. It's what you see, you know, you've got the engine, prints all as one piece, and then you have a set of wheels and the track, and so that makes up each piece. And the design on this is so good. I mean, this came right out at the end of the Kickstarter. You know, it was I think one of the stretch goals or something like that. But this, I mean, I saw this and I was blown away. I mean, if you look at the details, and it's not over detailed, but the placement of what he put on this model is just tremendous. You know, it's got some Gothic stuff on there. It's got the big piping and steam pipes. And so Sci-Fi RPG, 40K, Star Wars Legion, you know, there's all kinds of uses for a piece like this. And so basically, you know, if you were going to glue this together, the wheels fit right down here in the train. Obviously, you wouldn't glue it to the tracks, but you can just set this up on here, and then you would just add more pieces of track and things like that, kind of like I had it set up. So I'll show you the rest of the pieces that kind of go with this. I'll keep the tracks off them though. It just makes it easier to move the stuff on and off. But let me spin this around one more time so you can get a good look at this. I mean, this is just such a good piece that he did. The next piece of the set is the armored car. And again, nice piece. Nothing in this whole Kickstarter requires support to print. And so you're going to see a bunch more stuff from his Kickstarter show up on this channel, because I want to print the cathedral and things, and I'll flash up, you know, obviously there'll be pictures flashing up from that Kickstarter, some of the things you can get. But this right here, I mean, it's just fantastic design. It prints super clean. You know, if your settings are pretty good, there should be no issues at all printing this, you know, and so this, I mean, tremendous piece. The next piece is a platform. So this platform right here can take, it's meant to take his containers. And so, you know, the containers, again, were part of the Kickstarter, and you can put the really big containers up on there. You know, I also like taking the smaller containers from I think that's from the very first Kickstarter, and putting them on there too. So it's really nice. So you got container options. You know, you can do the large version of this crate, you know, in that design and put it on here, but it fits right on there and it's nice, or you can just leave it open and put something of your own on there. Barrels, you go out to Thingiverse and get some stuff. Andrew also did a bunch of scatter terrain too. I'll try and fit that in on the next train. I just don't have any printed right now. It all went out the door. I am a licensed printer for both designers here, so this is a set that's getting ready to go out. The next thing that's probably the easiest to show is this Orc Greenskin Tower. Wow, let me try pushing this forward a little bit. But this is a really, really nice piece. It's one of those that you really just gotta kind of see it, because it's impressive on the table. I mean, here's a 40K, that's a regular Devastator Marine next to that. So it gives you kind of a sense of scale and how big this is. And this is a multi-part print. Again, there's no supports required in this one either. So we can take the top off there. I could easily fit the 5 Dev Squad guys up in here. There shouldn't be much of an issue at all. Star Wars guy, whatever, it's just, it's cool sci-fi or fantasy terrain. I mean, it's got barrels in it and stuff like that, but this is really multi-piece, and then this part comes off right here. And, so you print these 3 pieces. And it's a nice print on there. I think it's one of those that, this is why I'm doing kind of the shorter videos, because you kind of see the renders of it, and sometimes you just don't get the scale of some of these pieces when they're on the table. So this is the Greenskin Tower. Again, this is Corvus Game Terrain. All right, let me back up one more second and pop, because I forgot to put one more. You've got this for the Warlayer also, for the Sci-Fi train. What's nice on this, Andrew's a 40K player himself. 32 millimeter bases fit just fine into that. So again, this is something that you can put items in. If you wanted to sculpt or put in kind of, use clay and sculpt on top of that and put in like it's almost a grain, or put something under and put tarp over it and things like that. That's a good thing, because it's got the base in it, that'll hold anything that you put in there. So again, it's nice, and that goes with the Sci-Fi train. All right, next piece this is a recent release. This is the Pilgrim Ruins scatter train that Corvus did, that Stephen at Corvus did, and it's just a variety of pieces. And I'll swing the turntable around here, and these are nice. These print, I use 2 build plates to print on there, and I like to keep my print jobs usually no longer than 12 hours unless I have to. That way, when I go to work, I put prints on. When I come home from work, I put prints on, and that cycle goes over and over again. So these are really nice ruin pieces. So I got a couple stormtroopers right here, because like I said, he's got some of the best Legion terrain around. I also have pieces coming for Imperial terrain that I'll show you, in a video coming up. I'm actually printing a few of those right now, but I want to get a good set of those together, because some of his terrain really crosses well into infinity. And so this is just to give you scaling. It gives you some options on there, so you can look at this. So this is nice scatter terrain, especially if you got some ruins. Even if you have a city, you can have a kind of a blown out piece of the city. And he's releasing more ruins. He just released some yesterday up onto the site. I haven't purchased them yet and downloaded them, but they'll show up here quick too, because the ruined buildings is nice, and it adds a nice breakup to your table. That if you got part of a city that's really nice, and all of a sudden you've got a half of a city that's starting to get blown up and rubbled out and things like that, it's nice. So spin this around one more time so you can get a look at these pieces. Again, this is Corvus Games Terrain, and this is the Pilgrim Ruin scatter terrain set. And we'll pop back to Warlayer again really quick, because apparently I'm just going to forget. It's sitting right in front of me too. I didn't even see it. This is the orbital gun platform. And so this for the train, this is and it has an orbital gun that goes right on here. So you can set it on there, glue it on there. I just set it on here too, because these also make good scatter terrain on the table if you just get it, you know, these guns by themselves. And I kind of asked Andrew if he could make a base for this, just something that kind of maybe lifts it up a little bit, and it just sets down into it, but it's meant for the table and not the train. And so he said he was going to try and fit that in at some point. No time frame on that yet, but it'll be exciting when that comes out, because it'll just make your table look even that much better. But this is the orbital bombardment gun, and this is part of the train for Warlayer Sci-Fi series. So awesome piece. And then the last piece I'm going to let you show is the new Pilgrim City landing pad. And this is a 3-piece print, so I'll pull it apart in a second. But let me flip this around like it goes. This walkway goes right here. And so this is nice. This prints really good. It prints easy. A couple build plates. You print, you know, this part right here by, obviously it prints like this. And then you got the top that goes on there. You know, so it's a super easy print to do. No supports needed on there, and this looks really good on the table. It's not as big as his other landing pad, but this is a little smaller for Pilgrim City. So just to give you an idea of size, here's our stormtroopers from Star Wars Legion, and also our dev squad from 40K. And just to give you a scale reference of what we're looking at here, and great piece. I mean, it's clean. It's a simple design that prints really, really good, and you know, it'll pack up nice, you know, also. So when you're putting your terrain away and have to store the stuff, you know, it's not a huge profile, so it'll sit nice in your terrain bucket. So again, this is Corvus. Links to both designers are in the show notes. It's some really nice stuff, and this is the type of video I want to do going forward, just showing off some really nice terrain from a bunch of different designers on here, you know. So if you haven't purchased, you know, files from Corvus or Andrew before, they're really good. They print without supports, and you know, all the Warlayer stuff does. You know, even the big stuff, you're like, man, is that support free? Yep. And so good design. It's all good work on here. Let me put this up here. Yeah, we'll stick a stormtrooper in the middle, and you know, it's just really good stuff, you know. So, you know, definitely check it out. Late backer pledge is still running on the Kickstarter. So depending when you're looking at this video, if the late backer closes, I'm sure Andrew's going to move all this stuff to his website. And so there'll be a link to both designers' websites below. And this is how we're going to roll going forward. So showing off like 3, 4, 5 cool things. You know, you get an idea of what it looks like sitting out off the printer and not just renders and stuff like that. And, you know, might be something you want to put on your gaming table. So what we got coming up, I got some printable scenery coming up. I'm printing for myself because I don't have any RPG terrain anymore for some reason. And then after that, we've got, definitely I want to get some Imperial terrain pieces up. And we'll just keep on plugging forward. You know, I got 2 Kickstarter videos coming. We got the Warlayer Inferno Kickstarter, and the next one by, almost forgot Mark's company's name. We got RM Studios Storm Guard into City Ruins. So definitely expect those this month. Those test print files are going on to the printer this week. And so again, thank you for watching the video. Hit subscribe if you haven't been here before. Ring the bell so you get notified when new videos are going up. And we'll try to keep that content current and often. So this is Greg from Panhandle 3D Printing. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.